Hey everybody, it's GomodX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena Cube Sealed. For those who don't know, this is the limited format where the packs are designed to just have all of the best cards of Arena, so it's not like a normal limited format where you just open your 6 booster packs of a regular set where you're only getting like one rare in each pack. This is just a bunch of the greatest cards on Arena. As you can see, we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I probably missed one. We have at least 9 rares or mythics on our first page of cards here. So this is a phantom event. You don't get to keep any of the cards that you open since you are opening some crazy stuff. But if you want an entertaining, super powered up, limited format, this is the format for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at what we've got in our colors and see what kind of deck we can build here. So, some real basic stuff in white so far. Some pump spells. Some 2/1s. We have 2 different 2-mana 2/1s. We could have a decent aggressive curve going in white. I mean, like, we really could. We've got 2 power creatures at 1 mana and 4 good aggressive 2-drops, as well as a little bit of removal to get early game creatures out of the way from our opponent. We don't actually have a lot of life gain going on any of our creatures, so unfortunately Heliod probably wouldn't be that good in this deck, because we would really have to use the secondary ability there. We could potentially have enough devotion for Heliod to be a creature, just by using like Daxos. And just a lot of white permanents. So that could be a thing. Pretty aggressive white cards for sure. How many enchantments do we have in here to see if a Sigil of the Empty Throne could be an actual threat? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't know if 4 is going to be enough for Sigil of the Empty Throne. But if we have a secondary color that works well with our white cards and has a few enchantments, that could definitely be a thing. So let's see what we've got in blue. Augur of Bolas, nice early game blocker that lets us draw cards. Chart of Course obviously lets us draw cards. Thassa's Oracle can be a late game win condition. Or alternatively, it's like another Augur of Bolas type card. It'll let us scry a little bit. Lirios Enraptured. Nadir Kraken, pretty big blue bomb. Psy, Hippocamp. Got Eternal Kefnet's a pretty big bomb. Patient Rebuilding is as well. Flood of Tears, not so much. Kind of just slows your opponent down. If you have enough permanents out, you can get a little bit of an advantage out of this instead of just slowing people down, because you can bounce everything back to hand and then put your biggest thing back out. But overall, this is kind of just a no shit button. Karn's Temporal Sunning is really, really good if you can cast it, but that's definitely going to be more hard in Limited, even in Cube, since you can only cast legendary sorceries if you control a legendary creature or planeswalker. Sarah Blue seems okay. Entrancing Melody is another one that's a really big bomb in Limited, but I'm not sure how good it's going to be in this format, because I did notice last time we played, a lot of the real threats in this format are just a bunch of really big stuff, so I don't know how often we'll have the mana to steal whatever their biggest threat is with that card. Looks like we have some aggressive black cards as well. Black and white could be a pretty good deck here. Early game removal, some early game attackers. Ooh, but not a lot of black cards overall. Wow. Yeah, actually, if we put every single black card into our deck, that's only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only have 8 black cards, which is pretty surprising. But I do like the look of that white-black deck. It could just be because I like I like Orzhov and all that, but we'll see. What about our red? Does look aggressive as well, and red does tend to be aggressive. Oh yeah. Ooh, we have some spice in red. For sure, we've got some spice here. Kiln the Fiend? I don't think we have that many instants and sorceries. Yeah, we don't really. I don't think Kiln the Fiend will be particularly crazy here. Could also run Storm's Wrath and Shatter the Sky, just in case our opponent gets into a better position on board than us. We could just wipe everything, but it is a little bit weird in a aggressive deck if we do end up running that. I suppose Ilharg the Razor is just a 5-mana 6/6 trample at absolute worst, even if we're not playing any creatures with its ability. Definitely seems pretty good. We actually have another Wrath in Time Wipe, so if we have good enough fixing, we could try to build some kind of Fires type control deck. Just Jeskai Fires, have Storm's Wrath, Shatter the Sky, and Time Wipe. That is worth considering as we get into the multicolored cards here. I guess I'll just toss in Ilharg for now, and this would be the Boros deck. Green has some decent stuff. A lot of support cards mainly. And then just a big old End Raise Forerunners to end the game, as well as the Finale of Devastation. Both kind of end the game in a very similar way. Just buffing your whole field a lot if you have a lot of mana. Beast Whisperer can give us tons of card advantage, same with Jade Light Ranger, stuff like that. Alright, what do we got in multicolored? Not actually a lot. We do have Chromatic Lantern, again, for trying to do a very multicolored deck. We have Chromatic Lantern plus Evolving Wilds, I guess, is really it. Towards blue, red, white. Good green, black mythics here. 2 planeswalkers there. But we do have Aurelia for Boros, as well as a Temple of Triumph, which is pretty insane. Relentless Raptor as well. We can really go for that Boros aggro deck. I think I want to try that. As good as, like, green-black would probably be good just because of the fact that Planeswalkers are just absolutely insane. I did definitely notice the first time I played this format, it didn't seem like there were a whole lot of ways to deal with Planeswalkers. So they are just really, really strong. But, I don't know, I feel like the Boros aggro is going to be a lot more different than our first deck than Golgari kind of mid-range would be. And yeah, the Golgari deck doesn't really have any real big threats. It would basically be green-black kind of, yeah, mid-range. We just sit there, play a little bit of smaller creatures, some removal spells for Phyrexian Arena and stuff, and just wait to draw into Guruk or Vraska or something like that. It could be fun, definitely would be powerful, but as I said before, and I'll say again, I think I'm going to try out a little bit of a different deck this time. And we'll throw Juggernaut in here too. Nice aggressive card, 4 mana, 5/3. Seems fine to me. Alright, so we get to cut 3 cards here. So let's go ahead and actually, like, accurately sort by mana cost now. Because that got a little messed up. Alright, that's almost right. Finale of Glory, we want that to be our absolute top end. We want to put as much into X as we can for that. Because if we somehow have 12 mana when we cast it, we can just make 10 4/4 Flying Vigilant Angels, which would be absolutely insane. Banefire as well as an X spell. Alright. What do we have here that's not, like, super aggressive, I guess? Not a lot. Maybe we actually are just gonna cut some of the high mana cost cards. Kind of thinking about maybe the Daxos Heliod stuff is not the way to go. At least Daxos, just because the mana cost is pretty difficult, and I already have a giant stack of 2 mana cards. Ox of Agonas could be a pretty good top end because we're obviously just going to be dumping all these cards out. So by the time we play it, hopefully we don't have very many cards in hand. So this is just more fuel. to end the game. Maybe Ilharg would be the weakest of our top end here. And to be fair, Juggernaut does not seem that good. Direfleet Daredevil's kind of more up here because we want to copy something from their grave when we cast it. Man, I'm yet again having that problem. Cutting cards out of a cube deck is so difficult because all your cards are so good. I think I'm going to cut these three and just go as aggro as possible here. I don't know if that's the right decision, but it's the one I'm going to make for today. So let's do Aurelia as the picture. And try out our second Magic Arena cube sealed. I definitely have noticed there's also a lot of good dual lands in here, because it seems like they put just every single dual land in the cube. The shocks, the check lands, and the temples. So I feel like you can also make really good, just very multicolored decks. Obviously we got Chromatic Lantern here as well. Fires of Invention. But obviously in sealed, you just gotta hope to open the right stuff to do that kind of thing. That's more something that'll be cool when they add draft in, for sure. Alright, let's get this show on the road. See what we're up against here. Blue. I'm going to lead off with Shepherd of the Flock here. We have a removal spell to follow up after this if they play a blocker. And it's going to do more damage by itself than Sunhome Stalwart is, and we don't have anything to mentor onto with the Stalwart. Do I want to allow the trade or just kill that? I think I want to just kill that. I can also scry, make sure I'm not drawing more lands here, which I think is good. Ooh, that's not a land. Keep that. Keep that for sure. I don't know if anybody else has been experiencing this, but at least for me, Arena lately has been very, very laggy. I'm kind of wondering if that is due to, like, a large increase in the amount of players, like maybe the server's having some issues. But obviously, if it's just me experiencing it, it's something on my end. I don't know what it could be, though, because all of the other online games that I play have been running perfectly fine. Arasta of the Endless Web, wow. That's kind of a big deal. It's very difficult to attack into. Ferocidon does have Menace, though, so we get in, put him to 11, and then we get to play a 5/5, which can get in there as well. Arasta does have Reach, so he couldn't just haste this out for the extra damage, as much as I'd love to. See what they have here. 5 mana up. If they don't have anything flying here, we should be able to get in for a pretty nice attack. Siege Gang Commander is not a bad draw at all. Ooh, and Stargate Hellkite can do any targets. So I can even just damage their face with Hellkite. I think I want to attack with Ferocidon and Hellkite here. Ferocidon gets to just kill the spinner. Well, like if I attack with both here, then if they're planning on doing some kind of pump spell to kill Hellkite, I get in extra damage. I feel like they might be. Because the only way they can block Ferocidon is if they double block, so it's not like a chump attack. I would still be killing Destiny Spinner at least. I can also kill Arasta if I put it up front to the Ferocidon. My only concern is that Ferocidon stopping them from gaining life and damaging them when they play creatures is pretty good. I suppose I'll just attack with the flyer. Because the other thing is, even if I do the damage to like Arasta and shoot Arasta, clear that out of the way, they're likely to still just have more blockers because they can just start using Destiny Spinner's ability to block stuff. No blocks. Very surprising. I'm actually just not going to even play a card here. I think I'll just do 2 extra damage to them with Skarg and Hellkite, so they can only play 3 more creatures before they just die to that. And there's the concession. Alright. Boros Aggro got in there for our first round. Here we are again with the black screen of loading. It's quite lovely. Am I gonna have to reboot Arena here? Maybe? I heard a sound. There we go. We did it. Alright. Round 2. Let's get in. So if you somehow haven't heard, Ikoria spoilers have started. Looks like a pretty exciting, pretty fun set. Lots of big creatures. The new mechanic Mutate allows you to like mix your creatures together and give them all of the abilities of all the creatures that you're mutating together. Pretty weird but interesting. Alright. Hand's not the greatest, just because I don't have a 1-drop, but other than that I like it. I feel like I did put a decent amount of 1-drops in here. I would love to play some stuff on turn 1. I think I'm just going to drop this Rimrock Knight. Next turn I will Jaya's Greeting something. Maybe. If I don't draw anything else. Aurelia on turn 4 is going to be very nice, and I already have the lands for that. No attacks. So they just want to be able to block my guy, I guess. Well, don't have anything else to play this turn, so Jaya's Greeting on Scorched Spitter it shall be. Skarg and Hellkite, oh my god. We need 1 more land for all these 5-drops, but if we get there, our top end is ready. And they're just mono red so far, so very likely to have some kind of burn for my Rimrock Knight in the near future. They could be completely mono red, just really going for it. I thought I was aggressive. Alright. Get in for 5 damage this turn thanks to Aurelia. Phoenix of Ash requires 3 mana to get +2/+0 till end of turn, so if they attack here, it's going to be pretty suspicious, because at most they can make it a 4/2 without any extra cards in their hand. Just without any support from like an additional pump spell or something. Another kind of new thing to Arena is this trophy pet that I have here. When it first came out, the only way you could get this trophy pet is if you had chose Paulo Vitor Dama-de-Rosa as your champion for the World Championship, because he ended up winning the World Championship, so they gave everyone who chose him this trophy pet. But recently, you can get this also by pre-ordering a booster box from your local game store, I think. They'll give you a code for it, as well as a Sarah avatar. So, I don't know how I feel about that. I think it was really cool that you could just see whenever anyone had this pet, you'd be like, yeah, you have good taste in prose, Paulo Vitor. But now it's like, maybe they just spent a bunch of money. But at the same time, anybody who has it is definitely a cool person, because the other way to get it is to support your local game store. It's not even like just giving Wizards directly your money. It's also your local game store during a difficult financial time, so I think overall it's fine. I'm going to actually just haste out this Hellkite. And just really go for it here. Because this is 8 damage, they're going to have to chump. I guess they don't, technically. Oh, wow. No blocks. Very bold. Alright, Robber of the Rich does have reach, so they can double block our Hellkite to kill it. They can't actually do that, though, if I pump Aurelia, because they'll just die. One mana in hand, or 1 mana untapped, and they're looking at their hand. Be suspicious. Oh, okay. Alright. that was just the concession. Surprise, no blocks. I'm always worried. Always worried what they could have. Even when it's super unlikely to be anything great. Vengeful Warchief is our random uncommon reward. Alright. 2 wins, 0 losses. Things are going good so far, but that is how I felt last time. We did really good at the start, and then there was a big old 180 and started throwing all the games into the trash. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hopefully the Boros aggro can keep it up. Aurelia's army of goblins and soldiers. Ooh, I like this hand. Just because dinosaurs. Oh, it's only got white mana, though. That's a little bit of a problem. We definitely need a mountain here. I think I'm going to have to mulligan this. There we go. We've got all our colors. We can cast everything here. If I just get rid of Juggernauts, I'll just do that. Bye, Juggernaut. Now we Temple of Triumph Scry. Turn 1. And then just have a bunch of turn 2 plays. Aurelia, I'm going to keep you. We do need 1 more land. So we're going to draw 1 more land at some point, but we've got plenty of time to do that because we have a play for 4 turns now. Thanks to 4 different 2-mana cards here. Again, going to play Shepherd of the Flock just because it's the most damage on board here, even though it does have that alternate ability. The Adventure I could cast. It's very unlikely we do that. So Entrancing Lyre is going to slow us down a bit. Keep one of our creatures tapped, which is not the most fun. But if they want to do that, they do have to soak up their mana to do so. They'll have to spend 3. So they basically just have to choose not to play anything this turn and just tap our Raptor down instead. If they want to do that. Mire's Grasp to kill our Raptor, not the best. Evolving Wilds would have been awesome if that was an untapped land, but I'll certainly take it either way. I'm going to grab a mountain here. We have a decent amount of abilities that require red mana, like Siege Gang Commander type stuff. So I suppose we're just going to Remorseful Cleric here. Of course, if I do that, they do just get to tap it down with the Lyre, but Don't really want to just hold onto a Jaya's Greeting, assuming they'll play a creature small enough to kill. Oh wow, they didn't use the Lyre. Alright, Doom Whisper, definitely not small enough to kill. We can Jaya's Greeting if they block Shepherd. I guess we might have to just do that. Aurelia doesn't actually really change anything on board here, so I think we just go in. If they block, we Jaya's Greeting and cast Sunhome Stalwart. If they don't block, we just cast Aurelia. Alright. Jaya's Greetings, scry 1. Finale of Glory. That's 2 2/2s right now. Be more later. I think we'll keep that. See if they pay any life here. They do pay at least 2. Milling a Oathsworn Knight and a Blackblade Reforged. Alright, and here's our Sunhome Stalwart. Still no instants or sorceries in our opponent's grave for a Direfleet Daredevil. So mildly awkward there. Remorseful Cleric might actually come in handy in this matchup. They are black and green, so if they ever try to, like, return something from grave, we can sack our Cleric to stop it. Keeper of Fables, 4/5 cat. They draw a card whenever they damage us. Hopefully not going to be anytime soon. So now we get to drop Aurelia. Do 4 damage in the air with Vigilance, thanks to the +2 ability. They only have 1 mana up, so definitely not going to... Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Cancel that. Okay. Okay. I wanted to attack with Remorseful Cleric and almost sacrificed it for no reason. That was scary. Didn't like that at all. Alright, and if they attack with Keeper of Fables, we can just block with Aurelia if they don't have a pump spell, so would be a little suspicious if they do. Midnight Reaper. And a Death Toucher that doesn't have flying, that's really good news for us. We can use Aurelia to pump herself and Mentor onto Remorseful Cleric, and that'll be 7 damage in the air. Which is very good. I think we are just going to do that. Oh yeah, they've got the Lyre ready, so they can just tap her down. Oops. Suppose we should have targeted the Cleric. Either way, I think we're in a pretty good spot, especially because we can Finale of Glory here to get multiple blockers down to stop them from getting any Keeper of Fables value. See if they choose to keep this tapped. Nope. I guess they do have more than enough mana to just pay it again if they want to put it back on Aurelia. And this way they can also choose to tap something else down if I target something else with her ability. So smart play for sure. They have 4 blockers. Don't think we're attacking with our ground troops just yet. still. Yeah, I think they're just gonna tap whatever we target here. Slow down the damage. Yep. Get in for 2 then. Down to 4. Still no value off the Daredevil. We have plenty of blockers. I don't think Daredevil really changes much on board here. Alright. Probably another land draw for our opponent or something like that. They are over it. Which is fair enough after that turn. If they drew into nothing, we could have just attacked with everybody. At that point, I think. Maybe not. I didn't really do the math yet. Alright, 3 wins, no losses. I believe this is the point where everything went wrong last time. But I am liking this more simple, just aggro deck. Last time I definitely made some punts and stuff. I was running a little bit more of a complex kind of deck. The Doom Whisperer especially was like, I feel like I should have surveilled a lot more aggressively with Doom Whisperer. Alright. I am actually surprised the Cube showed up just, like, right now. They did say that Cube was almost done, it was coming soon, when they did the March update. But I really didn't expect them to just put it out, like, a week before Ikoria. Or I guess 2 weeks. Week and a half-ish. I was really expecting the Cube to be the big format for the next historic season, like later after Ikoria's been out for a month or 2, before the next set. But hey, I'll take it. Any more limited formats to play is fine with me. I just really like the replayability of Limited, of getting a pretty different experience each time. Because you're never going to play the exact same deck twice. With or against. You play against very similar decks, but not like the exact same. It's highly unlikely. Whereas in like the F&M event where everybody could play any card in Standard, you're very likely to play against Embercleave all the time. Just the same mono red aggro list. Seems like Cube might not be super popular on Arena, unfortunately. That or I'm having an error. Great. Alright. It does seem to be an error. What is going on here? What is going on here? So this is definitely what I was talking about. It's all like network error, online type issues that I've been having with Arena lately. Just from my own experience, I have to assume that it's something server side, but there's a really easy way to find out if it is or not, and that's to see if anybody else is having issues like this. So I ask you all, have you been having issues like this? I tried searching around on the Magic Arena subreddit in the new posts to see if anybody was complaining about network issues and stuff. I didn't see anything, but people could also just be not in a complainy mood. I certainly hope it's not just on my end, because then I gotta figure out what's going on. Why literally just Magic Arena is having trouble with network type stuff. So we're grabbing a Plains here. This hand is very good, by the way. But we're grabbing a Plains here so we have our mana for our Finale of Glory in the late game. Start with a Starfield Mystic. This is basically just a 2-mana 2/2 in our deck. We're playing a Cube and we're playing a Grizzly Bears. But, you know, if you gotta be aggressive, you gotta be aggressive. One more mana until Aurelia. Playing against a blue deck, so Direfleet Daredevil is pretty likely to have targets later, but at the same time, playing against a blue deck with a Folio Fancies out, I think we have to get as aggressive as possible. We need to just drop out a creature this turn. I think I'm just going to drop the Daredevil, to be honest. Because the other card that we could drop is Finale of Glory. I much prefer to play Daredevil early than Glory early. Yeah, Folio Fancy is definitely one of those cards that can just shred you up in the late game. And we can see they are just setting up in these early turns, so we want to take the absolute most we can in these early turns and just do damage. So we did hit our land for Aurelia, which is very good. Very happy about that. We'll go ahead and give our guy Vigilance, because Vigilance is better than Trample when your opponent has no creatures on board. If we chose Daredevil, he would gain Trample since he's red. But we don't need Trample right now. Alright, down to 12 for our opponent. Off to a very good start. We have a Jaya's Greeting. If they have a small blocker coming up, if they have some kind of Wrath, that would be bad. In mono blue, very unlikely. Or I guess they have one Swamp out. All of the black Wraths I can think of require at least 2 black mana, so we're safe from that for now. We can definitely just Jaya's Greeting Talrand and get in for a juicy chunk of damage here. We're absolutely Jaya's Greeting Talrand, because Talrand will just keep making more and more blockers for them the longer he's on the board, as well as obviously blocking this turn. We don't want any of that to happen. Keeping the Mountain on top, so we've got our mana for Ox of Agonas to draw into a new hand here after we Finale of Glory. So I guess our lineup is next turn we're going to Finale of Glory, turn after that Ox of Agonas, if the game takes that long. Don't know if it will. It entirely depends on if they can kill multiple of our creatures in one turn here. Because they're going to 4, I think. They're going to 3 even. Nightmare Shepherd, that is a blocker for Aurelia. I don't think that's going to be enough. We can just pump Aurelia, counter on Starfield Mystic, attack with everybody. They block there, they block Aurelia, they take 3, go to 0. So, very, very good turn. Very good deck so far. Or I guess just overall. Even if we lose games, I would say this deck is really good. Very nice sealed pool this time around. Last time around was a really nice sealed pool as well. Maybe if we had built a better deck and played better, we probably could have made it to 5 wins. But I'm confident we can get 5 wins here. The biggest question is going to be if we can do that without any losses. That would be awesome. But we can win 1 game out of the next 4, and we'll win 5 games, since we haven't had a loss yet. So hopefully things don't go really bad. If things go really bad, we could lose the next 3 games. That's always a possibility. But we're in the final stretch. It shouldn't be that difficult of one. Seeing as... oh wow, this hand's very aggressive. I just wish this Evolving Wilds were a Plains instead. Then this hand would be perfect, because we could just drop Banneret turn 1. And then a 2-drop turn 2, but now we have to We have to skip a turn 1 play or skip a turn 2 play in order to make sure we hit our mana. Yeah, especially since we just drew the Ox. If we just drew a basic there, then we wouldn't have to Evolving Wilds, but I think we're going to have to Evolving Wilds turn 1. Just grab our planes right now. Crawl Harpooner from our opponent. So they're going to have blockers and flying blockers. Very, very glad that I Evolving Wilds instead of getting greedy. I'm just hoping for the basic draw. I guess if I hadn't Evolving Wilds turn 1, we would have had a different card on top of our deck, so maybe that one would have been land. Who knows? Alright, so Rabid Bite, our Daredevil's gone. Not what I want to see. I think I'm going to Banneret and Cleric here. Harpooner does have reach, which is important to remember if they don't attack with it. They do attack with it. I think I'm just like on the defensive here. I'll just block and see what on earth they have. Nothing? Okay. Sapperling Migration. Temple of Triumph's a really good draw here. We want to hit one more land. And there's our one more land. Sapperling Migration is really good against our deck. We got a lot of 1 toughness creatures. Suppose we'll just play a Rimrock Knight and save a mana up for Usher to Safety, Shepherd of the Flock's Adventure, which can return one of our creatures to our hand in case they use a removal spell or something. So now that they have a bunch of Sapperlings out, I think next turn we're going to play Skargan Hellkite with a counter on it. So we can... Wow, that's aggressive. That's aggressive. No blocks. Yeah, gonna play Skargan Hellkite with the counter, that way we can use its 4-mana ability to just shred those Sapperlings out of the way to make sure our creatures can get in there in the future. They do have their red mana now, they didn't have it before. Could expect something scary from front, like a Siege Gang Commander. Luckily, Skargan Hellkite's very, very good against that. Wow. Okay. So I think we're gonna... Really, it's a sick draw, but I don't think it's the time for that. I think we just want to clear out these goblins. Save up a white mana for Usher to Safety if they try to kill our Skargan Hellkite. We're all in on the Hellkite now. I guess we could have killed just the commander itself instead. Because now they do get to throw 2 damage at something with the commander. Or 4 damage if they sack 2 things, but that's still not enough to kill Hellkite, and I think Hellkite's the only thing that matters. Right now. It will definitely single-handedly win this game. If they can't deal with it. Yeah, that was probably a bit of a punt. Just kill the commander. Oh, wow. Not gonna usher any of that to safety, because they're not actually really doing anything here. Gallia of the Endless Dance. Oh, wow, they're just gonna try to kill me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, this is super not good. Go to 8. And a Love-Struck Beast. Okay. Banefire. We can Banefire them for 4, that's not quite enough. So they're definitely dead next turn, we just need to make sure we can survive this turn. And unfortunately, our only way to use Skargan Hellkite's ability is to not play anything else this turn. I think we have to kill Siege Gang Commander, because that's like 4 extra damage on board. So without Siege Gang Commander, they do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 8. They do just need a pump spell. They only have 1 card in hand, though. We gotta just hope they don't have the pump spell, I think. And then they're dead next turn to an attack plus Banefire. I think that's the best we can do. Turns out not killing Siege Gang Commander immediately was not really a punt, because it ended up with the exact same amount of damage dealt to us either way. But probably not shepherding the Goblin Banneret or the Rimrock Knight was a bit of a punt, because then we could use our extra mana to replay the Banneret or to get an extra 2 damage in this turn. I was just really wanting to defend Hellkite, because that's our one win con here. We actually don't even need any of the cards in our hand to win now, because they're at 7. So just, if I survive this turn, and Skargan Hellkite survives this turn, we have a lethal crackback. All they need is +2/+2, and I'm dead, though. There's 2 more damage in anyway. Could be a 2 damage spell, could be a 2 power haste creature, it could be a giant growth for +3/+3. Super worried. Alright, they're sending in. They might not have an answer quite yet. They might be needing to draw into something off Gallia. Let's see. Let's see if they drew into it. Alright, they did not. So that is a 5-win, no-loss Cube Arena sealed for our second sealed there. Whew. That was a good one. And we also played against a lot different decks than we did the first time. I felt like the first time, most of the decks were doing kind of the same thing as ours, of just like playing a bunch of really big stuff late game. And then this one, it was kind of similar as well. We played against a decent amount of actually pretty aggressive decks to fight against our aggro. So, yeah, that was pretty nice. Let's see what we got here. Storm the Vault. That is not my first copy of Storm the Vault. I know for sure, because I have this card and I use this card in my historic Joyra Brawl deck. But yeah, that is a little bit of a glitch with the firsts. They say first if it's your first copy of that card that you've opened since they like added the ability for it to say first. I think that's what it is. And a Reliquary Tower. I'm pretty sure I already have a playset, but cool card. Nonetheless, we got 620 gems. Whew. That was an intense run. It was pretty nice. I think we got a pack as well, just from leveling up the Mastery Tree, so we'll go ahead and open that as we finish off the video here. And go ahead and juice up the Mastery Tree. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching another Cube Arena sealed. See if we get anything cool. Just some wild cards, but just assume that that rare wild card is whatever your favorite rare in the entirety of Arena is, because it basically is. So yeah, thank you all for watching another Arena Cube sealed. I will see you all again sometime soon for some more Magic Arena content. At the very latest, I will be streaming for sure on Ikoria launch day for a bunch of Limited. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.